Grrr.
Deadpool. Nice to meet you.
Well, thank you, Deadpool. This is Blastin of Stashin Comics, episode 217. Ignore that lying intro. That's 217, not 216. Howdy ho, comic nerds. This first time catch shows, what we do is we read the books that come out on Comic Book Wednesday. Give them a read. We blast the books we hate. We stash the books we like. And we just get a little quick discussion on them and move on through. But let's talk about what else we've been watching and doing. What about you, Mike? What about you? Start with you.
I got home from work earlier today and pumped out the 2 episodes on WandaVision. I liked it. It is going to be a slow burn, something to get used to. I guess, guys our age and women our age, grew up on them black and white Bewitched shows and I Love Lucy. And
the reruns, yeah.
You just got to remember it's either a different dimension or a reality she created. It's going to get better. It's going to get better. I'm just happy to have, something Marvel to watch. I know what Captain America and the Winter Soldier come out a couple months.
Something like that.
And then we got Stranger Things coming in August, season 4. Jockio and Double S are in here. The brothers from another mother. But yeah, that's how I've been working. Been playing Cyberpunk. Spending money on comics and Funkos.
Have they fixed the Keanu penis patch?
What?
Did you ever see that all over the news about the penis outside the pants thing? No? I figured you'd be watching for that, Mike.
I'm going to add this to the long list of items I have that are completely wrong with you.
Yeah.
You're so ugly, you caused a mutant massacre. Serious tragedy. Uncanny.
Shut up.
210. Our heroes will never be the same.
Shut up. I also watched the first 2 episodes of WandaVision. Yeah, I can see where it's a slow burn. We're kind of getting to understand, like, this is not the Marvel universe and dimension and stuff like that. But I'm thinking they're pulling it along just a little bit too long. They could have ended that, where episode 2 ended. They could have ended that with the first episode. We kind of would have got the gist of what's going on, but a little more detail moving into the storyline.
I think as she moves out of what reality she's trying to get out of, we'll get well, you already saw at the end of episode 2, everything went to color.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then swords in it. I mean, there was a slight reference to Hydra.
Hell Hydra.
Hail Hydra. So,
I also started watching, right before it came up here, Outside the Wire. It's a new movie on Netflix with Anthony Mackie, where he is an android soldier. And he's sent out, he's trying to stop a nuclear bomb, of course, in in Europe or something like that. Definitely kind of reminds me a lot of Call of Duty, the way that the intro screens were happening and that first battlefield scene. It reminded me a lot of Call of Duty. But I'm going to give it a go.
TV show.
It's a movie. It's about 2 hours long. I watched about a half an hour of it, so I'll probably finish watching it tonight.
We saw a preview for it at dinner on the TV.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So, I'm going to give that a shot. And the other main character, he is a drone pilot who makes a questionable call, ends up getting 2 Marines killed in that the first battle, although he saved 38 of them. But oh well, it's all good. What about you, Joe? What else have you been doing? Reading, watching?
Read some comic books this week. And been working in the garage a lot.
What's that?
Hard cider.
Okay, yeah.
Hey, don't be shy. Come on the camera if you're going to talk.
No, she brought me a drink.
What's a Brazilian wax?
No. Yeah, I saw that picture that you made. I was going to share that to our Facebook group, but I forgot to. So, yeah, that's a good segue into that. Make sure you go check us out on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all that fun stuff. Instagram, I'm actually selling some books, too, on there. So most of Marvel Age, Still some Marvel 2-in-1. I have a whole bunch of Superman if anybody's interested in Superman. And some more stuff too, some X Factor and all that fun stuff. So we just go ahead and jump into the books, shall we? Let's go ahead and Mike, we'll start with you. Even though you hate starting with you, let's start with you.
Do we have to?
Yep.
All right. Since it's on the top of my stack here.
Let me know if you have a meat and potato book. I give you an intro.
Well, I will when you're ready to do the meat and potato segment. You let me know, and I have it sitting right over there.
Okay.
All right. Since it's at the top of my stack, we'll do Future State Robin Eternal. This one we learned Dick Grayson is locked up in Arkham somewhere, and Jason Todd is part of the magistrate. I guess he's that blue helmet dude that looks like Red Hood, but it's like Blue Hood 001. But anyway, Damian is dead, I think. Robin's fucking fighting this big ass robot. Long story short, the magistrate has been prominent in all these Batman books, so I guess that's going to be an ongoing thing. So they're siphoning the Lazar's Pit to make some green goo that makes cyborgs immortal. Whatever. It started off all right. It's a stash.
I didn't pick up that. That's one of the books I didn't pick up this week. How about you, Joe? Did you pick up the Robin book?
No, I don't know.
No. You don't seem too happy with that. I'm okay. I'm gonna continue on with the DC book. Actually, I think it's gonna be my pick of the week, and that's Dark Detective.
What?
Yeah, I thought Dark Detective was pretty dang good. I mean, we actually have Bruce Wayne. Bruce Wayne's dead. Batman's dead. That's what they think in this society.
And nobody made the connection.
Yeah, nobody made that connection. But actually, it was a good story. Batman's, definitely, no money. He's at his lowest point. He has hardly any friends or anything like that. So he's just fighting through the streets. And then we also have a grifter story as well, which is kind of very similar. And I thought they were both really good. And so I'm actually happy with it. I'm happy to see Bruce Wayne and Batman, the actual Batman, in there. So this is a stash for me. What about you, Joe? Did you read Dark Detective?
Why, yes, I did. Would you like me to
talk?
You
did. You get to talk about it. Your turn. You're up.
This was pretty good. And again, I'm still kind of hung up on this whole future state thing because it's a poor Batman. We kind of got that from the last Batman. Remember, he lost all his money. Lucius Fox is rich in this, and he was rich in the other Batman as well. So I don't know if we're dealing like we're just screwing around with time or if it's a different dimension. But then I read this story and I was like, you know what? I don't care because it's still a good story at the end of the day. I like this villain cop thing in here, the 01 robot man in an outfit, but not really sure yet. I like the concept of it, maybe. I don't know. But a lot of good stuff in here. And the grifter story was great, making him kind of sarcastic and down on his luck kind of character was really good. I didn't get the Batman and the grifter story, the Fox. He's a Batman and like he didn't do anything. Like he couldn't fly, he couldn't do anything. And I was just like, oh, that's weird. Maybe that's his character. I don't know. But for the most part, great art, great story. Love the narrative in it. Great dialogue because the jokes land in it. You know when they're being sarcastic. So all in all, good book. Stash.
How about you, Mike?
Yeah, this was great. My pick of the week as far as the future state books go this week. I think Bruce mentioned something about the magistrate being built on the ashes of Wayne Enterprises, so he really knows how to destroy them. We'll see. But it's a stash for me too.
Did anybody else read Grifter when he came? Wasn't he originally an Image?
Yeah, he's part of the Wildcats.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Wildcats.
And he's just been moved over to DC now. Jim Lee owned his property, I guess what it was, and moved it over. Okay.
Yes.
Any other things on Dark Detective before we move on? Nothing? All good? All good in the hood? Stash. You want to give us an update on that chat there, Joe?
Yeah. Jacko
go ahead.
he believes Outside the Wire is directed. Also, director did the Triple Frontier and Extraction. I saw Triple Frontier. I thought that was okay. Double S says, for a second, I thought Michael had said Robin is fighting a sex robot. That probably would make it. I would read that. I think I would read that.
That would have been Mike's stash for the week. If it
No,
were a
Gabe, it
sex
would
robot.
not.
If I were a sex robot. Moving on to Joe. What do you got for us, Joe?
Oh, already. Let's talk about this Chris Claremont anniversary dumpster fire. So before we go off, right? People go off on me for talking smack about a Chris Claremont thing. Look, I like Chris Claremont. I think he's a good writer. And God knows he's been responsible for some of the most iconic characters and storylines that we've read as comic book readers. This isn't one of them. I don't understand this book. I read it.
Whoa, wait a minute. Joe doesn't understand?
I don't get what's going on in this thing. And that's embarrassing because I'm kind of a know-it-all douchebag and I have no idea what the hell this thing's trying to do. Basically, what we have in it, and we'll get to the reason why in the end. Because in the end, it doesn't even matter. So, Moonstar, if you don't know who she is, nobody does. Don't worry about it. Has to jump through different timelines and different Chris Claremont stories and interact for some random reason because there is a shadow type shape-shifting character that can take over bodies that's kind of intervening in these storylines.
The Shadow King.
Well, here comes the real confusing part. Apparently, Hela, Thor's sister, I think, in the comic book, not really, but for some reason in the movie she was. Whatever, we're not going to get too deep into this. Says, in order to keep, the winged horsey that you like so much, which I never knew she had the damn thing, you got to become a Valkyrie. And I'm like, why does she have to become? Because she can keep the horsey that she saved. She saved the horse. So now, and I'm sitting here, I'm thinking, there's been other times where people have rode the Valkyrie horses and didn't have to join the Valkyries. And I did a quick Google search and come to find out Black Knight had to do it and he didn't have to grow boobs and become a Valkyrie. So why does Moon Knight have to, or Moonstar or whatever the hell we're calling her? And the story just didn't, and the artwork in the beginning was horrible. It was that dreaded kind of smeared art. It's just ugly. And then it's bad. It's so bad. I can't tell you how bad this is. It's a blast. It's my blast of the week. How about that? Huh?
Ooh. Mike, what do you think of Chris Claremont anniversary special?
Jaccio said Claremont has got to be pushing 70. Cut him some slack. Now, no disrespect to Chris Claremont. I mean, he, like Joe said, he was one of the greatest writers. He did a lot for the X-Men back in the day. And I could think of 150,000 different ways we could have did Chris Claremont tribute other than this. I thought it was garbage as well. Like Joe said, you got Moonstar bouncing around through time, touching on some of Chris Claremont's stories when like Rogue was evil and she was fighting Captain Marvel as binary, all that Storm as a thief and Gambit, but it didn't. It's crap. Blast.
I have it here in my stack. That's one book I did not read this week, but
I was about to say, tell us how you liked it because I was half expecting that.
Nope, I didn't even read it. So I said in my stack, didn't read it. So I don't know if I ever will. Probably just go into my long box and be forgotten.
Be sold for $1 later.
Sold for $1. I'd buy that for $1. I'm gonna go on to another book as an independent book. And he says you're knocking Bill's Sinskinewich's art too harsh.
I'm just saying that macabre dread stuff, and then the artwork bounced around a lot, and that can be kind of off-putting when you're trying to read something. It's just the story wasn't consistent, the art was not consistent. I don't know what to tell you. I'm sorry.
So jumping into, I think it was kind of a anticipated book coming out this week, and by Image, that's Haha #1, in the same universe as Ice Cream Man. I picked up just the cover A on this one. In this story here, we got this guy who works as a clown at this failing amusement park, and his wife and 2 kids at home. His wife's like constantly giving him shit, saying he's nothing but a 2-bit clown. He's never going to be successful. And the park's about to shut down. He's like, no, it's not. And he goes to work, and his boss says, yeah, we're closing down. And then he cuts him his last check, cuts him a little bonus in there as well. As he's leaving the parking lot, he's talking to his friend who's dressed as a clown. He ends up mugging him and taking whatever money he had in his pocket, smash him in the face with a tire iron. And if that wasn't bad enough, he goes to the bank to cash a check and then in the middle of getting robbed. And he doesn't listen to the bank robbers. He ends up getting a bullet right through the head. It shows a bullet passing through his brain, and like these weird psychedelic things are popping up. But it goes clear through and it doesn't kill him. At least that's what we don't know. And we at the end of the book was kind of questionable. He ends up going back home to his family, his wife and daughter, and they're all balloon people at that particular point. So I think they're taking a lot off of like the Joker and that whole thing, a clown kind of down on his luck kind of stuff. Would I pick up issue 2? I might pick up issue 2. It's kind of a soft stash for me. Definitely kind of Ice Cream Man vibe-ish for sure. So what about you, Joe? Did you read Haha?
I didn't. I wanted to. But your review of it sounded a lot better than what Mike told me about it tonight.
Oh, really?
So it's a whiskey dick for me too.
Whiskey dick.
I love evil clowns. I love sadistic clowns, and each one of these haha books is going to be a different story, different artist. But you told the story perfectly well. But so he gets shot in the head, passes through his head, survives, takes out the bank robbers. Paramedics sit him down, wrap his head in a bandage, and be like, do you want medical treatment or whatever? He's like, no, I just want to go home. Now, if I was shot in the fucking head, I would go sit in the emergency room for 2 weeks. But he just goes right home. But yeah, like you said, he's starting to see his family as balloon animals or whatever. So I don't know. It was weird, a whiskey dick. I'm gonna give it another issue. See if that one's a little better.
Here, I got it. Here we go. It's our whiskey dick issue. Yeah, so we don't know what's reality and what's not from the time he gets shot in the head and moving forward. I mean, all could be just the dream sequence at that particular time. Kind of a meat and potato cover for issue 2. It looks like it looks like a little female clown. Yeah. Oh yeah.
A little funny business.
A little funny. Oh yeah, I see what you did there. Thinking about a meat and potato cover.
Ooh la la.
Let's talk about Mike's meat and potato pick of the week. What do you got for us, Mike?
All right, so I went to one of my comic book stores the other night and dug through their 25-cent bin, and I found some meat potatoes in there. And this is by Image, Top Cow, and it's Aphrodite, Roman numeral. And she has got some meat and potatoes going on right there. Throw some barbecue sauce out. You can do cocaine on that ass crack. Right there. I have never read this. This is actually the second printing, so.
That's Mike's meat and potato pick.
Um,
Aphrodite number 9, or Aphrodite 9.
I don't know if you guys have ever read Aphrodite. I got issue 2 somewhere too. So, but yeah, cocaine and ass crack.
I have a meat and potato pick, and it's actually 2 different covers, same book, and I'm actually going over a review right now before I jump into it. And that's Frost Giant's Daughter number 2. There's the cover A right there.
Throw some barbecue sauce on it.
And there's that cover B.
Throw some honey barbecue sauce on it.
Honey barbecue sauce on it. So I am surprised that this is by Ablaze Comics. They're kind of I think a fairly new publisher, or they've gained a little more steam over this past year with some new titles and stuff like that. They may have been around for a while. I was shocked after reading this book. Was this what was it? You always see in the previews, guys, at Unbound, the books that are like this porn, flat out porn.
Yeah.
That's what this almost is. So at the end of the last issue, there's Conan and the head of this army. They're the last 2 surviving on the battlefield, and they're fighting it out. And there's Frost Giant's daughters waiting for the ultimate winner to come through. Conan actually wins. And then it's this whole, he's chasing her across this tundra. She is buck-ass naked through the whole thing. I mean, you could see it right there. And he's chasing her, and she, running through the snow, as like a woodland fairy almost. I'm not doing it again, Mike. Don't even ask. I knew you were going to ask that. He ends up almost catching her a few times. They said, hey, it's cold. It's the night. Let's stop. I won't try to get you. And they end up kind of sitting around and kind of talking for the night. And as they get up in the morning, they start the whole chase thing all over again. And they get to the top of this mountain, and she ends up pushing him off this mountain where he falls down this ravine and into the water. And I guess that turns her on so much she starts masturbating. And that's what she's masturbating the whole time, and he's dying. And she's climaxing there. So I have no clue to what's going on with this book, and there's some more. Who knows? But she's getting... She's getting more and more excited because he's pushing and fighting death even more, trying to climb out of this abyss, trying to climb out of this water, which is turning her on more, which she's masturbating more. What the hell? I don't know. This is supposed to be based off of Robert E. Howard's, like original stories too, versus like what the Marvel Conan is. Maybe the Howard books were far more explicit. I don't know. I haven't read any of them, but
I heard that company don't have the rights to Conan, the name Conan, so that's why they can't use whatever.
Yeah, they call it the Cimmerian. Cimmerian? How do you pronounce it?
Crimean.
Crimean. Is that what it is? Crimean?
Crimean.
Yeah, this is uncensored. So, you don't blame him chasing her naked? No, I do not blame him for chasing her naked through the tundra. No, kind of like the Game of Thrones when he's taking that one wildling across. So, it's a stash though. I actually enjoyed it. Masturbation aside, of course. Nobody else probably read that this week.
On the side of what?
On the side of his masturbation.
Yeah, side of mine. Go back to Joe. What do you got? What else you got, Joe?
I don't know. Let's see here. Let's talk about Justice League Future State. This was surprisingly good too, but again, I'm kind of confused if we're in like the future or another dimension because I'm still on the whole death metal thing. I don't know what's going on, but in this one, our new Justice League team is a lot more stricter than the old one. No fraternization, no real names, no sharing of secret identities, no hanging out and chilling together. And of course, they're all young, so they're breaking all the rules. What they do. We have that one Green Lantern, the lady. I can't think of her name.
Jessica Cruz.
Chick. She's pretty badass.
Jessica Cruz.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, I see her here. Yeah.
Yeah.
The chick from Far Sector, which was a decent book, but I stopped reading it.
We got in here. She's apparently the super crime sleuth in here. We get, I guess it's a new. I didn't have a chance to research them, so I'm not really sure. But we get appearance from Hyper Clan. I've never seen them before. The big plot here is to take over for the Justice League and their villains. Right? They killed this version of the Legion of Doom, which was really cool. I like the whole T.O. Morrow guy. Tomorrow guy. That was pretty cool. We'll play on words. And the reason why I keep going back to the timeline being confusing, they keep referencing people like Superman and stuff like that. Fine, so it could be a different dimension. But as they're walking through the hallowed halls of the Justice League here, in the background, it's all pictures we've seen before. It's all covers from the previous dimension. Does that make sense? Like there's covers of comic books that look like group photos. So I was like, that's interesting. I'm probably looking too much into it, but again, so I just enjoyed the story, and it's a good story. I would pick more of this up, and I would recommend this. This was pretty good.
How was the backup story on Justice League Dark?
That was weird. Again, not really sure what's going on there, but the whole Merlin has taken over the realms of magic and apparently a lot of the world too. So again, I'm not sure how everything connects here. Bobo has Aragon in him now. The demon is in Bobo, the chimp, and he still got a sword. So that made me happy. That was super cool. But apparently magic's been outlawed and only Merlin and his knights can have it. And they're setting up a scheme and they meet up with the schemester himself, John Constantine, who's been hiding out.
Double S said if they're young, should it be Young Justice League?
That's what I thought. Yes.
Yeah, and that's what's kind of weird about because this is all I haven't read this yet, but this is all the new characters. This is the new Superman, the new Wonder Woman, the new Flash, right? So it's not. So is it future? Is it past? Because we have books with Bruce Wayne in it. We have books with different characters in it. So it's really convoluted, I think, for the future state
you
stuff.
could look up a timeline and when all these books take place. All of them take place after what we've been reading.
Right, but that was destroyed, so there's no association to it, right?
No, it's God, this is hard to explain.
It's weird.
It's possible futures.
Okay.
Future state. The state of DC Universe in the future. I think of it as Elseworld books, possibilities that could happen.
Okay, I'll go with that. It was just weird. Again, I was kind of expecting this fresh new take, this new thing coming through, and it's a lot of the same stories, right? But that's fine. I'm okay with that too. But I mean, I just don't think it's living up to the hype. I mean, they're good books. I think that's a fair assessment. Real quick in the chat, let's hit this up because we want to tell everybody how much we love them. Double S says, like the song Share, if I could turn back time, I would stop myself from buying a Chris Claremont book. Oh, yeah, Mikey loves those female clowns, talking about the cover you showed. You don't blame chasing. We've read that one. Okay. Jacko says most of the Conan universe recently became public domain. The name Conan and a couple of other character names are all that is off limits. Oh, that's interesting. Double S says if they're the Young Justice, we talked about that one. And Double S also says, and so shouldn't there be a younger Glider Man instead of Kite? That's funny. I like that.
Okay, moving on to Mike. What do you got? What else you got?
Well, I'm stashing Justice League as well.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It was pretty good. I like my team books. I unfortunately also read Future State Superwoman because got to collect them all, just like the Pokemon. So this was depressing right at the beginning. Not for the simple fact that Supergirl lives on the moon in a bubble with the rest of Earth. I guess in this issue, Earth has been jacked up. So they all hightailed it to the moon. But Crypto's dead. And she's kneeled by his gravestone. I got all depressed and I didn't feel like reading it anymore. But unfortunately, I did This alien woman lands on the moon. They become besties, and this book is freaking garbage. Blast.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I read through a little bit of it. I just couldn't get through it. The art is so,
So
it's very colorful, very in your face for sure. You know, it's definitely not something I was like, whoa, that kind of caught me off guard. Yeah, there's nothing about this book interests me to keep reading it. So unfortunately, it's a blast for me too. I got the cover B, the whatever that is. What else you say, Mike?
Did you read Super? Oh, never mind. Never mind.
Joe, did you read Superwoman?
No.
No.
No. I'm not rushing into future state. I'm more like sliding into future state.
Sliding. Let's talk about Serial, I guess, real quick. Really quick read. Terry
I like
Moore.
Frosted Flakes.
You want Frosted Flakes?
I like Frosted Flakes. That's a stash.
I'm more of a Cocoa Pebbles or a Reese's Puff kind of guy, really.
I like Reese's Puffs.
Mini wheats. Oh.
Mini wheats? I like a good rice Chex, too, every now and then. Rice or corn Chex, those are good, too. A little bit of sugar on them. Good stuff. We've gone off the topic of comic books onto.
When you put sugar on it, it's Frosted Flakes.
No, you don't like crank all the sugar on there. For sure. So Terry Moore, if you read Rachel Rising or Motor Girl or what's the other book that he's really known for, it's just more of that pretty much. All black and white, no color, so Mike would absolutely hate it. We start out with this guy and this girl sitting on this overview, look at the sights, and he's kind of this little overweight dude. And he's like her boss, and he's taking her out to make out point, and she's like, "I'm only 16, you're like 30." He goes, "I'm only 23," and so he really tries to push. He's even got a little porn stash, kind of like what I had in that picture that I showed you guys.
It was hilarious.
And that thin little mustache going on. So he didn't try to rape her necessarily, but he tried to really come on to her. She's telling him no constantly. She gets out of the car. And he tries to kiss her again. She ends up kicking him in the nuts pretty hard. He flips and falls off the cliff and dies. At least that's what's assumed. And so she gets home. What's really weird about this book, and she, wipes down the car, changes her clothes, gets to her motorcycle that's hidden in the woods, and goes to a garage and goes to hide it and changes clothes, and then takes up her wig and makeup. She's blonde. Then she gets rid of the clothes. So I don't understand what's going on with this book. It's kind of funky. I'm not following it very well. I wish it was more like Motor Girl, because I definitely love that book. But Serial, it's a blast for me. It's probably in the same world, too, as Motor Girl and Rachel Rising. I know he's very much into world building. But unfortunately, this is a blast for me. Double S says he is an Applejacks with that Applejack milk.
They should bottle that shit.
Crunch berries make for a colorful bathroom experience. I usually get the generic crunch berries if I get those. The bag, I don't know if you guys had malto meal or whatever it is.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Big ass bag of them.
Yeah, you work in grocery stores, Mike. You know that stuff.
I know everything there is to know. You want to know about Harris Teeter, Food Lion? I don't know what stores you got out there.
We have Kroger. We have it's called Fred Meyer out here, but it's Kroger, owned by the same company.
Yes.
So
we have a Maynard's.
You have a Maynard's?
We have a Maynard's.
I'm gonna have to go there.
We've been saying that for years. I don't know why you're still there.
Yeah. Double S says, "Is it make out or necking, as you call it, Huey?" I remember. I don't remember that quote. I said something. Somebody was necking, and he called me out on it before. But no, they were not necking. That was more like raping. So, nobody else read Serial this week, right? Other than eating it tomorrow morning for breakfast. You guys still eat cereal? You guys still eat cereal for breakfast?
I get on a kick every now and then where I need a bowl of cereal.
I drink coffee.
I'll have a bowl of cereal for dinner once in a while instead of eating dinner. I'll have a bowl.
Do you get a small bowl or one of them?
Big,
giant size bowl?
Yeah, like Ice Cube from Friday.
Yeah.
No, I don't do that. Sorry. Moving on to Joe. What do you got?
I want to talk about this new Thunderbolts. Did any of you pick this up?
I did. I got it.
This was fun, and it was funny. It's a a King in Black tie-in. It's not overly like serious towards it for some reason. So basically, Wilson Fisk wants to put the Thunderbolts back together. Why does he name them the Thunderbolts? Because he owns the copyright to the name. I thought that was great. So on this team, we get who do we got? We got Taskmaster, Mr. Fear, Snakehead, Batroc the Leaper, Rhino, and Ampere. Did I miss anybody?
Star.
Oh, and Star. Yeah, she's kind of an important role in this. He's the heavy in it, right? So they got this team together, and it kind of reminded me of when I liked Suicide Squad, when it was kind of funny and it was action-packed and it was villainous and they're villains, and it just makes sense. I love the banter between I keep wanting to call him Trickster, Taskmaster and Mr. Fear, because they look similar. Just one looks like he's on meth in their costumes and everything. It's great. Snakehead gets eaten within the first 5 minutes. If this was a show, right? She's the first one to go, type of thing. I thought that was great. Ampere wants to quit. He ends up dying too. And then Rhino's like, yeah, I don't want to do this. I'm leaving too. Bye. And like nobody messes with him because he's the Rhino, right? He's huge in this thing. Well, anyway, their mission is to go get Osborn from Ravenclaw because reasons we don't know yet. So they got to go get him. And this surprises everybody, of course, because they think he's some kind of psycho or whatever. The dialogue in this, everything hits. The jokes are funny. The sarcasm hits. Their chance to step up and be heroes and help some street level heroes, battle some of the dragon symbiote things happening. And they're like, nah, let's just sneak around.
They're trying to steal shit,
Yeah,
shit.
One's like, hey, everything's going to shit. Let's just take it. It was just fun. It was just fun. It was stupid fun. And I think Batroc is probably my favorite character in the team, even though he's French. Nobody likes the French.
Janice grown up here saying, hey guys. And we got Double F said, I was regretting picking up Thunderbolts, but surprisingly it was good. Read for me, kind of like Suicide Squad.
Yes, and that's why I absolutely love it.
That's why you absolutely love it?
Yeah, I love the Suicide Squad. You know that.
I know that.
Yeah. Really? I only have the first fucking... I have all the volumes now, as a matter of fact. Even the keys. I'm so proud of myself. Shut up, Mike. Okay. Thunderbolts was a stash.
Hold on a second.
Whoa! That's an Ugg mug.
There you go.
You shut up, Wade. Shut up, Wade. I'm a big fan of Star. I read her miniseries right after she premiered in Captain Marvel, and she was a badass, so I kind of dug her being on the team. But yeah, the Thunderbolts was a stash for me too.
Real quick, kind of a little bit off topic, but comic book related. Lately, Punisher's been coming under fire for the symbol being used in storming the Capitol, and a lot of people are calling for either Punisher to be removed from the Marvel Universe or his symbol be removed. What is your take on it? Me, personally, I can give a rat's ass. Somebody wants to take a symbol and use it as their own. That doesn't reflect exactly what the symbol was created for. That's their own interpretation of it. But I think it's
how many
ridiculous.
Organizations and what's so not use that? The Marines and
it's heavy in the Marines, police force. Yeah, I think it's absolutely ridiculous. I mean, I have a lapel pin of Hell Hydra symbol, the Nazis, and nobody associates me with Nazis. So again,
Yeah.
it's just a symbol.
Yeah.
Relax. You're going a little too far. I mean, what if I wore, I don't know, the rainbow flag? What if I wore the rainbow flag and stormed the White House? Would we have to ban that now too? You see, I don't. I think it's just ridiculous. It's stupid.
Gen X grown up said, "That's bullshit." Going to also cancel Levi's and Birkenstocks for being worn by murderers. Yeah, you can't wear Levi's anymore, motherfucker.
I mean, I've had the option to get magazines for my firearms with the Punisher symbol on it or something. I choose not to because I don't know, it just doesn't fit. I feel it's a kind of cartoony for the serious nature of it, because it is a comic book, and so I don't treat it with any value at all. It's just a symbol, I don't.
My time overseas, it was very common for guys to put that on a patch and stick it someplace, tattooed. Yep. You've seen it on vehicles. Like it was a regular thing. I think even on my hip plates, my ceramic plates that go inside the vest, I took them out and I painted it on there, right? And just kind of stuck it back in there. And I would say, get the power of the Punisher, right? It's just something fun and stupid to do. It's too far. It's too much. They're just looking for a reason. Somebody just wants to bitch. They're all Karens. The candy bars aren't in the right place, or they're on the wrong shelf. So I need to complain about it because life is over. That's all that is.
Jack Yo says that symbol makes bank. No way Marvel does away with it.
Right.
I mean, really. I mean, you don't confuse it with anybody else for sure. And really, do I have a problem with police or military using it? No, not really, I guess. But I mean, what the punch stands for in the comics is different than what really police should be using it for. I get that. I understand where that's coming from. But still, it only gives the power if you say it does. That's the thing. Moving on to lighter subject. Let's talk about Planet of the Symbiotes. Anybody read that one this week?
Yes. Oh, yes. Yes.
So that actually had two stories in it. Had a story with Scream, where she's getting attacked by a lot of the symbiotes that are combined. They end up. How am I going to put this without Mike twisting my words here? They end up taking her in. See, I knew Mike would turn it on me. So there's a whole bunch of them. They're combined into one, and they end up attacking her and hurting her, and end up combining them with her, and she ends up going inside. This is where Mike gets dirty, and she uses the power of fire to get free and actually kill it. So that kind of story is there. I always thought Scream was a bad character. I didn't know that she was a good character.
That old bird had the burn.
Yeah.
She gave me the burn.
And then the second story has to deal with Ravencroft and the resurrection of Cortland Cassidy. So that character that came out was the first serial killer in the United States. So Null's resurrecting him for his bidding. Overall, I think it was kind of cool to call back to that character and kind of bring him back in and seeing what he's going to do forward from there.
I think they call him Plague now.
Yeah. I think he is called Plague. Yeah.
Because he does his breath.
Because they're running out of names for characters.
Yeah, probably.
Plague. And there's a plague going on. Corona.
Overall, I mean, are you going to miss any story of this whole King of Black stuff by missing this book? Probably not.
Yeah.
You what's that?
Yes, you will.
You think you will?
You will.
You think you can't get follow up on like one page of, hey, Scream's kind of a good person now, protects the innocent, and Cortland Cassidy is now Plague? You don't think you can sum that up in a page or a panel or two?
You're not going to sum that up.
Overall, I don't think it's worth that whole cover price on it. Sorry. What do you think about it, Joe?
I liked it. I thought it, and this is proof that on any given day, any random comic book can turn into a key issue. I think this Plague thing is going to have staying power. I think they're putting a lot into this. and they're trying to make something of this character, because in the Ruins of Ravencroft, when they were talking about the original character, they spent a lot of like 4 issues, like explaining that character and everything that happened to him and why, and his relationship with Noel has finally been, solidified, if you will. I thought that was interesting. Also, on the Scream one, she says directly, she goes, I can see I'm going to have to take the fight to Noel. So there's like call to action. So I think as far as tie-ins go, my speculation, if you will, conjecture even more, I think this is going to be kind of a key issue of things to come. I think the big battle is going to be based off of these 2 characters in some way, shape, or form. So I would definitely pick it up for just that alone. Plus, it was just a good read. Like it was fun. Hey, comic books are kind of starting to be fun again. It must not be 2020 anymore.
It was 2021. Double S is referring back to our Punisher talk. Yeah, it's BS on that. Like Joe said, if someone posted the rainbow symbol, that'd be taken down. So they're both all of us kind of agreeing with us on that. That was a bunch of bull crap.
Well, they're right. I mean,
yeah. What about you, Mike? What do you think of Symbiote? Planet of the Symbiotes.
Yeah, man. Planet of the Apes was awesome. No, it was good. I enjoyed it as well. Blah 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 blah. We do get another appearance by Man Wolf in here, and Misty Knight.
Misty Knight. That's like a porn name, isn't it?
It is.
Doing all this porn, you need to settle down, buddy. Settle down. But Planet of Symbiotes is a stash for me as well.
Oh, okay, moving on to Joe. What else you got for us over there?
Oh, what do I want to talk about? We want a blast or we want a stash? Oh, let's go ahead and talk about this before we run out of time. I want to talk about Man's World.
Please do.
I want to talk. Where did I do with it? Oh, there it is. So Man's World. So this starts off good, which scares me immediately, because AWA has this thing where they start off with a really good comic book, and then either one or two things will happen. It will go like down south real fast, and I don't want to read it anymore. Or my comic book store, if it's really good, will stop bringing them in, like Archangel, and I'll never get to finish it. So in this takes place in the future, like way in the future. They make that very clear. And they go to this planet. It's kind of like a resort planet. It's called Man's World. It kind of reminds me of Pinocchio in that little place where all the kids could be bad and all that other stuff. So basically you go there to booze it up, do some hunting, maybe a little cocaine, probably some hookers there, and then more booze. So our guys are going on what is known as a divorce party. I've actually attended divorce parties before. They're better than what is it before you get married as a guy?
Bachelor party?
Yeah, that's it. It's bachelor party. It's more fun anyways. So they're gonna go there because one of their friends just got divorced, and these guys are all kind of they have to be kind of well off. Like one's a fighter. One owns some burger restaurants. He's Dave Thomas, basically, of the future.
And they're
so they're going to go there.
Bags.
Yeah. They're all bro guys, right? They're all bros. So they're going to go there, and one guy's kind of anxious to do something, right? Because things are just not going fast enough. So they decide to kind of sneak off into town where all the locals, the locals all work there at the resorts, if you will. And they're kind of poor. They're poor. They're just poor people. Doesn't make them bad people. In this book, it does, because they kind of pick a fight with these guys. And then all of a sudden, they're like, "Hey, they're going to go on their hunting trip in their spaceship. Let's, booby trap it." So the thing goes to crash in the alien wilds, if you will. And then they're going to go like kill them, I assume, or go mess them up really bad. And so it looks like we're going to have some sort of survival story here, or I hope it doesn't turn into, no matter your economic status, you should always treat people equally, because we all know that's a lie. Yeah.
What about you, Mike? What did you think of Man's World?
It's not quite my pick of the week, but it's second. Do you ever see that movie Judgment Night where the guys are on their way to the basketball game and their bus breaks down in the ghetto?
Yes.
Take that / Jurassic Park, and this is what you're gonna get. Because now the four douchebags are stuck in the wild with all these big creatures running around, and the locals are coming to hunt them. And this is awesome. Awesome stash.
I'm kind of on the fence with it.
God damn it, Dave.
I know.
Oh, Dave.
I
know. Just one night, man. We can all agree on a book.
So when I'm reading through this book, all I could see is the main big guy who's the fighter, the UFC fighter, Dave Bautista. That's what I see the entire time going through there. It kind of looks like Dave Bautista. And then the other guy kind of looks like Pedro Pascal, the guy who plays Mandalorian a little bit. All I can see, or okay, they're going to throw this into a show, and that's what it looks like to me. I see what characters are going to be playing or what they're based off of a little bit. Even that one guy even kind of looks like Negan a little bit in that panel right there, where he's egging on that guy. It looks like Negan quite a bit there. Well, yeah, I'll pick up issue 2. The AWA has been pretty good with their stuff, and I think it's definitely worth a second read. On issue 2 for sure. And then you get the advertisement for a casual fling. You going to pick up that?
If the comic book store has it, I'll pick it up. It's a number 1.
So yeah, it's a whiskey dick for me. And you guys both liked it. It was close to your stash of the week. Not mine. Sorry.
Double S says, like I said before, Donny Cates should do a tie-in series between Null, Thanos, and Black Winter. But don't you worry, Thanos is coming.
Thanos is right on the cover of Eternals 2 next, or whenever it comes out.
Yes.
What about you, Mike? What do you got? What's next?
Since we did my second pick, let's do my pick of the week. Pick of the week goes to Space Bastards #1.
Ooh.
Was that number 1? Okay, I'm surprised I didn't pick it up. I was thinking it was a different. Weren't the other books called Space Bastards or something like that? Something Bastards that came out really recently.
I think
by Image. What?
I don't think I.
What are you laughing at over there, Joe?
Double S says, so are you saying that ghetto people are like creatures in Judgment Night, Michael?
Where Judgment Night was filmed, Cabrini Green, I grew up around there, so we can go. We can do a con at Cabrini Green. You might not find any comics there, maybe some cocaine, but anyway, regardless, Space Bastards #1.
Yeah, let's divert that conversation real quick.
Basically, this guy down on his luck, kind of like the clown in Haha, joins the post office. Of course, this is in space. The Postal Service. So in this book, when you pick up a package and try to deliver it, people try to kill you because every time someone else gets the package, but it's like hot potato. It increases in value. That's my best explanation of it.
You want to try that again?
No. So we got this new guy taking a job, and he has to go. He has to be in training for a week, I think it is, and he goes onto this big bastard. I forgot the unicorn horn guy. And that's the new guy, and it's fucking awesome. I can't explain it. I'm tired.
I didn't read Space Bastards. You read Space Bastards,
pick
Joe?
of the week.
Sir, no, sir.
I'm pretty much out of books. Oh, I have.
It's okay.
Yeah, I'm tired. Been a long week. I have Teen Titans, the future state. I read through it super late at night, so I didn't really grasp a whole lot of what was going on, other than a whole bunch of Titans were dead, and that's about all I got from that. I have Mortal Hulk number 42. Haven't read that one yet, or Amazing Spider-Man 57. That's that cover. I don't know what cover that is.
Let's go lightning round, because I have a big
lightning round. Then that's my lightning round right here. These are the 3 books I haven't read: Amazing Spider-Man, Teen Titans, and Immortal Hulk. Which future state you're talking about? Legion of Comics. We talked about Justice League. We talked about Dark Detective.
Yeah, we talked about all of them that came out.
Yeah, yep.
Yeah, we hit all those up.
There's
Most of them were
a
actually
few more
for everybody, so that was pretty cool. Let me see here. I'll do a quick lightning round. The Union. So number 1 wasn't really that good, and guess what? Neither was issue 2. And this one, we find out Britannia died. So sad, too bad. So now Union Jack's got to. Oh, you don't know who Union Jack is? That's okay. Nobody does. He's the British version of Captain America. So, but no superpowers, none. Not even super strength. Anyway, he's real athletic. That's his superpower. Anyway, so he leads the team to go save some people over in the nearby bog, or whatever they call it in England. He takes the new team over there, and they whip up on the bad guys. They kind of did the fumbling around thing of new leadership, and then they win the battle, and then the entire team's like, yeah, we don't want to be a team with you because we liked Britannia. We don't know you. We didn't really stand behind the whole thing, so we're just going to leave. That's it. Blast. Immortal Hulk. Blast. I don't even want to talk about this. I have no idea what's going on in this either. It's gotten to the point to where it's so cryptic that it just doesn't make sense. And I don't even know why this quote was in the beginning. So in the beginning, there's a quote, and it's from a very famous piece of literature. If you took an English lit class, you have read this book. What was the name of it? I wrote it down. Aggie Bididi. And it's done because of its narrative. And the narrative in it is the dialogue, and it shows a great example of it. The book was written in 1822, and it's a real archaic, weird quote to pull from it because it really has nothing to do with the book. In this, we find out that the leader is Bruce Wayne's dad, but that just made him take over.
Bruce Wayne
or something. Bruce Banner's dad.
Okay.
It's dumb. It's dumb, and it's lost, and it's trying to be Paradise Lost, but the truth is, at the end of the day, it's just lost. Oh, that was good. Hey, in the last Amazing Spider-Man, and I said it, I called it, I was just late. This was a bunch of standing around and talking about Kindred, the character that we kind of know everything about now, and how he's a douchebag, and how the whole Osborn family are douchebags, and Kindred's got a secret, thing up his sleeve that nobody knew about, which we
a douchebag up his sleeve.
Yeah, this is just a spoiled rich kid that has mumra powers, and and at the dead dinner party where everybody was dead, apparently there was another body there, and it's a big surprise who it may be. Oh, I hate that. Good stuff. American Vampire, 1976. This book will never go out there as one of those, oh my God, that's a great comic book to read. And it should. Because if you like classic monsters, storytelling, team-ups, even playing with some mythology that's already out there, like giants living in a mountain in Appalachia, that's a thing they believe out there. This is actually good stuff. I don't know why more people aren't reading this. I know it's just a throwaway issue for DC to throw out there, but I thoroughly enjoy this. It's fun. It plays off of a lot of different themes and a lot of different characters, and kind of plays with history a little bit, and that's worth it for me. Definitely a stash.
Mike, you're lighting around. What you got?
All right.
What you got?
Teen Titans. Yeah, the big seller on this was the Red X. I know nothing about the Red X character, other than the fact when Ramad got his panties all in a bunch, he put on the Red X costume. I don't know. He was from Teen Titans cartoon.
Teen Titans Go.
Teen Titans Go. They went somewhere, but Yeah, there's some cool parts in this, but other than that, it's a blast. Um, Nightwing does put on Deathstroke's mask at the end of this. I don't know what that. It was a little bit confusing, but he now goes by Nightstroke. No, I'm
Ooh,
kidding.
talk about a. No, I'm not talking about that kind of stroke. That's more
I'm
of a
kidding. He doesn't go by
Bam.
Nightstroke.
night. Mike,
Do you prefer classic or modern horror? My question to the panel. Like, what do you consider classic? Because classic to me is like Dracula, Frankenstein, blah blah blah.
Universal monsters.
Universal monsters.
Me, I think I probably prefer classic stuff. I'm not big on slasher movies and stuff like that. I know, Mike, you are. That's one of your favorite genres.
Yeah. I mean, I would guess have to go with modern. I'd rather watch Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street, Halloween, other than Bride of Frankenstein or something. Now, nothing's wrong with those movies. They're all for its time. But I also picked up Superman and Metropolis, which came out last week because I got to have them all. This is decent. I enjoyed this, and the only thing I don't get is why Superman's not wearing a cape in this, but he is in all the other books.
No cape.
No cape. Superman, Wonder Woman, Future State. This is garbage. There's two suns in the sky. Nobody knows why. Wonder Woman is worried about the infrastructure of roads in Brazil. Then she goes has a drink with a couple of gods, the sun and the moon god, and this is garbage. Blast.
Man, Legion of Comics, he is all up in that future state stuff, and he's saying all that Teen-tastic or Teen Titans content was heavy. They packed a lot in that book. Future State Superman, Wonder Woman was fantastic. Robin Eternal was a sleeper, so good. So, I mean, he's disagreeing with you all over the place with the Future State. So, go ahead, Mike. Sorry, I interrupted you.
I also picked up the 27 Run Crush, which is an awesome book. Just think of Starship Troopers, the bugs from Starship Troopers, and this chick in a mech with her dog, and she could communicate with her dog. So I thought that was pretty cool. I love this book. So I don't know if it's going to continue, but that's a stash. Of course, my Marvel pick of the week for 2020, Darth Vader #9, is a stash as well.
Double S said it would have been better if they named him Breaststroke.
Green Lantern. If you haven't picked this up and you're looking for a good Jon Stewart story, this is not it. However,
I was getting all hopeful there. I was like, man, I'm going to go pick it up tomorrow. Oh, never mind.
We switched roles tonight.
There is an awesome Jessica Cruz story where, so in this book, the Green Lanterns, they're out of power. There's no rings, and Jessica Cruz is been on this abandoned space station for about a year now. She's surviving, and some yellow lanterns attack, and she kind of home alones them, sets up booby traps, and she takes them all out. And then there's a garbage Guy Gardner story at the end of this, but the Jessica Cruz one is good. The rest of the book is shit.
Sounds like an intro to a porn. She home alone them.
She home alone them. I was reading.
You're reading.
Legion of Comics post. I picked up Essentia. I don't even want to talk about this. This is my shit book of the week. There's a spaceship in it. That's all I know. That's a blast. Now, I'm surprised you two didn't pick this book up. I'm very disappointed in you two. And that's Erratic #2.
Sorry. Yeah. I didn't pick it up.
More goodness from this story.
Didn't have
more expanding on the characters. He did use his powers at the end again, but I'm loving this. That's a stash. And last but not least, Gwenom versus Carnage. This is crap. I can't stand the Gwenom costume. We do see Mary Jane become the new Carnage at the end, so I don't know if this is going to be a key. Who cares? Last. And that's all I got. I think I'm sick of symbiotes and time travel and different dimensions. And
You're pretty much done with comic books then, bud, because that's all they got.
and that's why I'm liking these independent. I never was an independent guy. But, my picks of the week were both indie books. Huh.
That's it. That's all we got this week.
Yeah, John Stewart. John Stewart looks like Bishop with a lightsaber in that book.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Make sure you go check out Joe and Mike's channel. Mike does his haul every single week, what books he's picking up and talk about what he's going to be reading here. Joe does his haul and review on his channel as well as doing stuff from the Evil Lair where he creates stuff. So if you got any suggestions, make sure you go over to his channel, check out what he's built so far, shoot him a suggestion, say, hey, I want to see you make this. He's looking for more. You got a Keyblade, made some awesome rings. I'm trying to come up with an idea right now too, but let's figure that out. Anything else?
Comics, those are Marx Brothers movies. I have every Marx Brothers. I'm a huge Marx Brothers fan. Huge.
It's going to be huge. We're not going to be able to say that for much longer. Huge. Fun hang, guys. Thanks, Jen. Grown Up says. Anything else before we get out of here, Joe, Mike?
My new Evil Lair project video, the Kryptonite Ring, will be out next week. Also, Drunk Ralphie has done a recording, and we're putting the animation together for that. So this year he's going to take it easy. He's going to talk about superheroes and what it means to be a superhero.
What it means to be a hero. Make sure you go check out Joe's channel. Just poke in Joe. That's all I got to do. Look up that, and I'm sure you'll be able to find it. Pretty easy find there. What about you? What about you, Mike? Anything else?
Let's shout out AR Comics. I've been watching his channel a lot lately, and I like the stuff he's doing over there.
AR Comics, huh?
Yeah, he does top 10, his top 10 books of the week, some haul videos. So go check him out. Go check him out.
And I don't do anything on my channel at all anymore. I have a channel.
What's up with that?
I have my personal. I haven't done any videos over there for a long time. Mainly I do everything on this channel right here. But I might post some more stuff in here. My wife and I are in the process of trying to save up and get a house built right now too. So maybe I might be doing some videos on that. No, not in Virginia. In the wilds of Oregon.
Well, that house is gonna fall apart. You need to come build.
We got a little mother-in-law cottage for Sasquatch. Oh yeah, fun stuff up here.
We have hurricanes here, and our houses don't go blowing everywhere. Just a train.
Well, they don't go blowing here either, unless it's a motorhome, which we have plenty of those motorhome parks around too.
See, we don't have them because we're rich here. You need to move here.
Yeah, I saw that they just executed a guy who was a former gangbanger from Virginia recently. Yeah. So first execution in quite a few years. So that tells me a lot about Virginia.
Yeah, we don't kill people unless they're really bad.
Yeah. Okay. Well, they blasted with a Stashin. Happy reading, and we'll catch you guys next week. Yes, Mike?
Bedtime.
Oh, hold on a sec.
I gotta go. Gotta take Sabretooth for a walk.